and I'll do like a clap, because that's actually how you sync it. Is if they both hear like a sharp sound like that, then you'll see that in the audio recording, and that's the way that I've seen other people like sync them up. And actually it's kind of an issue, because once you have two tracks like recording and like they've started at different times, it becomes very like, you realize you have two sides of a conversation, and sometimes like the mic picks up like both people talking.
Yeah.
So I don't even know, as I do this, I learn more about like how difficult like editing is.
Is this good?
Yeah, it looks good as long as that red light stayed on. Yeah.
Swag.
Yeah.
I actually had to do that spike clap thing. That same friend who was shooting a music video, I also helped him edit a short film, and I acted in like one scene. I was just like some extra waiter or something like that. But he needed people. He was like, dude, I have so much footage to edit, and I don't have enough time. Like, we were about to graduate. And I was like, hey man, I've never worked in like DaVinci or whatever he was using, like Adobe Premiere or whatever, but I'll try it. Like, hey, I'll put my labor in there. Like, I'll be some hands for you. So I had to figure that out, like you were saying.
Yeah. But, and then how did you like have a little bit of background before that?
Honestly, no.
But how did you know to do the clap? Like, did someone tell you that?
Oh, they recorded, and then I was trying to figure out, like, after I had the footage, because they did all the recording, and then I was doing the editing, and I was trying to I had the same problem of like, how do I sync these different microphones up? Like, how do I make them, synced? And then I noticed that there was the spike of them like clapping in the beginning, and nice. I was like, oh, like I can sync it up with this, and I was like, that's definitely what that's for.
Yeah, it's funny because you've seen in old movies they do that, like the little black and white like shutter card thing, and there's like a snap, and I bet that's for similar, like syncing the video to the audio.
It was a pretty cool, like, it was a pretty cool experience, even though I was bad at it. I never got to see the final product, which made me sad, but...
Is it out there somewhere?
I think so. I think, even though I put, like, we had, like, 3 people just, like, donating time, like, it was, like, at the very, very end of my senior year. So all of us were trying to, like, simultaneously plan for graduation. Our parents and family were coming to visit, and then, like, we were trying to pack up and, like, just all this stuff. So hours of time were like a hot commodity at that point. So all of us were kind of like, okay, listen, we can give you some hours, and then like we have to cut it off. So it didn't end up getting finished, and he said that he was going to pay somebody a couple $100 to do the rest of it. And then I hit him up like after the summer to like to be like, hey, like, did you ever, finish it? How'd it turn out? I want to see it. And he kind of left me on red. So I got to see him once I went back to school for like the next year's graduation, and I asked him about it, and I think it did get finished, but I never got to see it still.
It was a school project?
It was like a fun project, just like for fun, but it was while we were at school. And
this was a high school?
No, this was college.
Yeah, was it like an arts college, or they were in an arts program?
No, they were, I can't remember what they studied, but they definitely didn't study art, but there were some people there who did study like film and that kind of stuff, and they were helping out with the project.
Yeah, I guess that's where like the foundation would come from. Like the drive to do it would be some people wanting to work on their skills. It's impressive though when if it's not like a graded school project, and and some people involved are not in the arts program. When they get into it, it's fascinating because I always feel like it's like two different worlds. Like there's people that are working on that kind of stuff, and they just intrinsically feel the value, and they want to get in there and collaborate and create the thing. And then there's people that are like I don't know, the engineering mindset of like they're looking more for like a technical challenge, or they don't see like they're more about the distribution or something, or can we like the setting up, I don't know, like some kind of technical, like, they just want to see how the tech works and not really create a product with it, or like a non-quantifiable product or something. Yeah,
like they're doing it less on vibes, more on like there's some challenge or puzzle that they want to tackle. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I guess what I've seen recently is like I've set up a blog for myself at many times in the past, and then like never written any articles, but become like obsessed with like, I just want to know how a blog is set up and how you could make it easy. And then I'll listen like I listen to these like 404 Media like journalists, and like they have like a ghost content management engine, and their site looks like stable and good, and they're always like putting articles out. But for them, it's like they've had, I guess they talked with someone to set it up originally, and then they sort of know how the tech works vaguely.
Like enough to use it?
Yeah, and then so it's like a means, like the tech, like they're really getting the value out of the tech. Like they're producing so much like journalistic work and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the tech is just there doing its job, and they had to interact with it at some point to like get it set up. But that's the two sides of it, is like, it's like this fascination with like the platform and how it technically works.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get it all finished and you realize like, well, I don't have anything to actually say. And then you have the other side of like, journalists have tons of stuff to say. And then, but then it's like when you see that, you're like, it's like, oh, the thing that's happening here is the blogging engine is good. Like that's the misunderstanding, that it's like, oh, if I make a good blogging engine, then I'll be like these guys. Like, and it's like, no, it's actually like they have like an editorial vision, and
yeah,
like
they have a story to tell.
Yeah.
That's what it was for the person who started this movie project, is he had a story he really wanted to tell.
Uh-huh.
It was the title of the movie was This Shit's OD.
What is OD?
Yeah, say again?
What is OD?
Like overdoing or like overdose.
Oh yeah.
It's like New York slang, saying like, if you say like somebody's OD, you're like, bro, you're doing too much.
Yeah, that
like
makes sense.
chill out. But
And that's like his centering around his vision, his like mantra or something.
yeah, it was like the thing that the story, like the thing that happened in the story, he's like, bro, this shit is OD. Like this is too much. Like, and he was kind of talking about like his life and his transition into college. It was a really weird time because like our freshman year was during COVID. So my graduation, my high school graduation was like when COVID hit.
Huh.
So when we first came to school, there were no like vaccines, everything was online, and some people just didn't come in for the first semester. So he came into the second semester when there were vaccines, and he was kind of isolated a little bit because, you know, everybody had already been on campus for a semester, people had made friend groups and stuff, and like he was coming into something late. So he felt kind of isolated, and you know, college is a big transition, and we were all also low-income students. So he was here at like an Ivy League institution with like the most rich people he's ever met, and
right,
you know, he's
and
just
this was in New York City, I assume.
He's from New York City, but this was in Providence, Rhode Island at Brown University.
Okay, yeah.
We were both. I knew him through Questbridge, which is the scholarship program that we got into. But yeah, basically he came, and like he had never tried, like he'd never smoked weed before, he had never taken edibles or anything like that, and he was going out to a party with some friends, and he was like kind of anxious because, you know, he's like feeling isolated, he wants to make friends, and like his life is like this crazy transition, and basically somebody offers him some edibles, like brownies that they had baked. And he accidentally ate like 4 brownies. Like he ate way too much.
Classic rookie mistake.
Yeah, exactly. So he spends the entire night like really, really high, like geeked out of his mind. And at the end of the night, after the party that they go to, they're in an IHOP in Rhode Island. And while he's in there, like high as can be, right? The IHOP gets shot up.
Oh,
and
wow.
like nobody got hurt, but like, you know, they're ducking under their table, they're freaking out, like there's shots being fired. And he's just like, it was the culmination of like all of these crazy swirling things in his life, from like the isolation to like trying new things, the transition, like the juxtaposition between like his old life and now his new life with like all these rich people, and like it was just a lot. So he was like, dude, this shit's OD. And that's like the whole story of the movie. It was really cool.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like when you first told me like shooting a music video in the desert of Rhode Island, it's so like out of context, but then that rest of the story like fills that in. Like it makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
That like someone, I guess people maybe are like naturally talented in these things to begin with, but then certainly having like any sort of traumatic life event, but especially the combination of all that stuff, it seems like the one way I believe to like process that is like create some kind of art out of it.
to deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it had been like 3 years at that point because I was freshman year and this was senior year. So now he was like at a point where he could, do something creative with it instead of just kind of like avoiding it or being like, that's crazy. He could actually sit there and, work on this thing, like you said, to kind of process it. It was really cool.
And this music video, and was it like one song, one music video, or?
Oh, these were separate.
This part of
the music video was like a separate endeavor. This Shit's OD was like a short film. It's the film that I was mentioning. I had like done the clapping for and everything. Yeah.
So the film was the attempt to like process all that stuff that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he probably had already processed a lot of it, but I'm sure that it helped. You know what I mean?
Or I guess maybe as a result of the processing, you almost have like I would assume people have like epiphanies and stuff, and they feel like they've become wise almost off of they've seen some like the world from a new angle, and then there's like this compulsion to like share that in some way where like no words or explanation are good enough. You almost need to like create like some kind of partially fictional film or something like that to like get people to feel the emotions that you went through or something.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. He was just like, dude, it's a really, as crazy as it is, it's a cool story to tell. And yeah, he wanted to show people that. He wanted to highlight his experience. Like, I think the core thing that you're like supposed to take away or whatever in air quotes is like, you're supposed to understand better the experience of somebody who is like a first-gen low-income student and is breaking into this crazy world of, like Ivy League institutions and like a career that like nobody in your family has ever even come close to having, like a life experience nobody in your family has come close to having.
Yeah.
And just how crazy that transition is. So,
yeah.
It was really cool. Have you ever worked on any like short film kind of thing? I know you do like other creative stuff, like you've done the hip hop videos and the songs and stuff like that. Which, by the way, I watched the Astroneer one. That was pretty swag.
Yeah, that Astroneer song, it made it into like the Astroneer community newsletter.
Oh, really?
At one point.
That's so sick.
And then so I guess when that happened, like they have a channel in the Astroneer Discord where you can post like community art, and I posted it there. And then like the community manager like picked it up, and I think they show it around like to the devs and stuff on the game, and then they put it in the newsletter, and so that was cool. There's a couple of quotes from like devs like complimenting the lyrics and stuff.
That's so sick.
And so that was like it's fun to like, because I made the thing because I play Astroneer a lot, and I have like this connection with the game, and then to create something that sort of in a asynchronous way like connects me, like the devs have, like I created it, I've thought about it, they saw it, they thought about it, so we have this like sort of imply like sort of relationship that's connected without being directly connected. It's kind of a cool, like it's like people are brought together by just like a shared experience that they didn't even have at the same time. It's just like this thing that's floating around that people can experience. But these hip hop songs like came after maybe the first like sort of like video that I put a lot of effort into was just like a 3-minute video about my running route like around San Francisco. And it was because there's this channel called like MinMax, and they are like video game journalists mostly, and they review video games and they make a podcast every week, but they also make a lot of like wacky YouTube videos where every week they just put like 4 wacky ideas and the community votes on which one should be done, and then they produce like an hour-long video called like New Show Plus, where sometimes they're just like going for a walk, or they're like checking out some kind of waterfall or something, or there's like ones that are even more bizarre, like kind of like nonsensical bizarre or something. But then they have like, there's a strong community that's like on a Discord through that site, and they have a contest once a year for a month called like Doc Lightning, and then everybody just everyone that wants to can film like a 3-minute documentary, and there's like no barrier to entry. Like they just say like film it on your phone, like just do 3 minutes of whatever. And so that's the first time where I thought, like I felt, because I kept running this route like through San Francisco, and I thought like it's cool how I've chained together all these different parks, and I feel like
you've like built it up.
Yeah, and I was sort of wanting a way to like capture what it feels like to like run through the city in that way. And then I also want to share like that idea that I came up with of like this particular route and the things that are on it and what does that mean to like run that route. And so the video is a bit like philosophical and a bit showing like what the route is. And that was 3 minutes. And then that just sort of felt like the first one where I made something and people watched it.
Right.
And then like it like meant like I sort of discovered some stuff that I wanted to say like during the process of making it. So I've made a couple more like that, like it's been 3 years now that I've done like
lightning doc.
Yeah, like done the lightning docs, and then also 3 years of games as well. Like there's a Min-Max game jam for 1 month every year.
Also, you've made games.
Yeah, I've made like small indie games. There's one.
Oh, that's right. We did talk about this. Yeah.
Yeah, we touched on a couple things, but I recently now I've combined the two where, and this is still all like Min-Max is just like a very casual, good opportunity. Like there's, it's 2 separate months a year where I'll make this 3-minute video and I'll make this a short game. And they're always like commenting on like community inside jokes. And like one of the games that I made was just like a flow of like a bunch of inside jokes as you go through the game. But it's fun because everyone, like they stream them, they watch everyone's doc on stream or they play everyone's game on stream. So you at least know like a small group of people is going to see and play through your game and like appreciate it.
And like get that meaning.
Yeah.
Get that message.
And yeah, because they're all Min-Max community members and they all know the same inside jokes. And so you can like pander to that audience like directly by just dropping things that like they will know and recognize.
Right.
And that's like a pretty rewarding thing to create. But now the one that I've just made, because November this month is another like it's called Min Hacks like 2025, like Min Hacks Game Jam. So I've spent a couple weekends like making another game that I already submitted it. The deadline is like the end of this month, and then they'll probably play them near Christmas or something on stream. But my game, they made a New Show Plus, which is a 1-hour stream that the community voted on, where they did like a polar plunge somewhere in like Minnesota. They went in a small like sauna trailer and then they walked outside and they plunged in the ice. Ooh. And there was a really funny joke they made during that stream that was like, as you do the plunge, the guy running it is like, you probably don't want to put your hands in the water because it'll make your hands cold and you want the dexterity to remain. And you don't want to put your head underwater because that'll, that's just like, there's no reason to do that. Like it's kind of, it'll make you cold essentially. But then at some point they wanted, for the content, they put their hands and they dunked their head underwater. And then they were in the sauna afterwards and they joked that when they did that, they experienced like the true reality. And then they joked that they tell you not to put your head underwater because they want you to stay asleep. And I thought that was like, I was like, I got to file that away somewhere and like work that into a game somehow. And so the game that I ended up making it's a pretty simple game, but it also contains like a hip hop song inside the game. And it's pretty, like, if you play the game, it'll just be very simple and, like, it's a song in a game. But for me, there's a couple of things in the game that line up in a pleasing way, like, artistically. And the first is that, like, in the game, it's, like, 2 dimensions, and it's a side-scroller. And you start as, like, a penguin in a little sauna, and you're sitting there. And then you walk out of the sauna, and you jump into the polar plunge little, like, pool. And then it says press, like, spacebar to wake up. And when you press spacebar, the penguin like dunks his head underwater, and then all of a sudden, like the game, I'll say that it just changes into 3D. Like it goes from 2D to 3D, and then you're walking in like a back alleyway, and you find this you find like a music club called the Polar Plunge, and then when you go inside there, it basically just plays my 4-minute like hip hop song, and the hip hop song is just like a bunch of like 1 or 2 line verses that allude to like different things that happened in content throughout the past year.
Like little inside jokes here and there.
Yeah, or like a lot of them are like alluding to different games, like some of the games that I played that they talked about on the podcast, like, like notable things about those games.
Have you been playing any games recently?
Well, I've been, actually like Astroneer just dropped like more DLC.
Oh, really?
Like a week ago or something. So that DLC it's building like mega structures in space. Like you can have like a base around an asteroid. And I haven't gotten into that yet because you have to do certain missions in the base game. Like I always start like a new save. And so you have to do like certain missions in the base game. And actually like me and my sister recorded 1 hour of us playing like the base game, working up to unlocking like, getting to the DLC mission. And so I sort of have that DLC mission now like in the queue, ready to go. But since I'll basically move, I'll shut down my PC, and then sometime like in a month from now, me and my sister will, once I get my PC set up again, we'll basically jump back in and like probably play through the DLC.
Wow.
But I've been like going, getting all the resources and stuff, and like unlocking everything like in preparation for like just sort of when I start that DLC, I'll have like all the things available.
Right. That's very swag. I haven't played Astroneer in a long time. It's probably been like 2.5 years. I honestly, I don't think I even finished all the stuff or did any of the DLC.
Yeah, I have. Built into that Astroneer song is sort of like loosely like instructions of how I play through the game and what different planets, like what resources they take. And because I often, like, it takes like maybe 2 to 3 hours, maybe in like 1 or 2 play sessions to like grind through everything to get to the sort of the base game end state. And it's just kind of, for me, I like working a pathway where you can like put on a podcast and, you know, it's like, now's the part where I collect this resource. Now's the part where I have a shuttle. I can do my first, you know, it's just like grab a couple things that are useful, do the first fly to another planet mission to get resources. And there's a nice like flow to it where you can you're always just making little decisions, and you have to remember like a few things about what does this resource need or whatever. And then it just becomes like kind of therapeutic, and it's fun to have. It's like almost, it feels like kind of like going for a hike or something, where it's like, there's different interesting things along the way, but the process itself is fun, and you can listen to like I said, it's a good like podcast game.
And I that's interesting. Thinking of it as like going on a walk, like that's what I'm doing by playing this game. I love games like that. I mean, I also really like competitive games. Like I've been playing a lot of League of Legends recently, but like Minecraft, for example, is something you can just hop on and like similarly, there's like a process. You know, when you start, you're like, okay, first thing I do is get some wood, get a craft table. Then, you know, next thing I'm trying to get some cobble, and then I got to get iron and coal. And then, you know, your main goal is like, okay, I need to get a full set of diamond armor or something like that. So I can really start exploring and doing other things and like stand a chance in some fights in the nether or something like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of how, like the times that I've played Minecraft, my loop in that game is like you say, like those basics, and then maybe I start growing wheat and I start making bread because that's my survival thing, and then I dig like a staircase down to the diamond layer, I do that. I try to get that like just, and then it's fun to just sort of like anticipate like, oh, I got another diamond, like now it's only 4 to go, and and then the thing for me is like I haven't really like other than getting the diamond armor, there's sort of a branching number of things to do. Like that can happen in like that was happening to me for a while in Astroneer, where I was starting a new game, getting to like max whatever, beating the game, and then sort of realizing like there's a layer where it's like, well, there's a couple other missions and things to do, but I don't really have an idea which one I want to do, and then I would just like start a new game. But over time now, like as I get better muscle memory of like doing the early game stuff, I reach the point quicker where I can pick like one more thing. And so now I'm always like, now I'm sort of like almost like fully completing the game because I just have like better and better techniques where I can be in a state of flow and just kind of do the thing and grow a bit further.
It's kind of like a workout routine.
Yeah, it's similar to a lot of those things,
Huh. It's almost time for me and my friends like yearly Minecraft playthrough. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but we've done like really, really cool, just like random little ideas in the past. And I guess we let our kind of like creation muscles flow a little bit in the last one. We had like we had no goal when we started, but we just decided kind of on the spot, whoever gets the dragon egg, the ender dragon egg, would be crowned like the king of the server. And as the king, you're allowed to enact laws. And we had a very like, I don't know if it makes sense. I don't know how to describe it, but like people would respect the rules, even though like there was nothing stopping you from just breaking each other's bases, right? But we wanted to build something. And so all of us like agreed, like, okay, we're not going to cheat. We're not going to break each other's bases. Like if there's like a door that's locked and like you have to like find a key to unlock it, you could technically just break in there. But everybody's just going to respect, we're not going to do that. And you have to actually do the process, whatever people set out. So we made this like ritual, I guess, where in order to become the next king, you have to find the dragon egg in somebody's base and collect it and like take it for yourself. So people started making these puzzles that were like, you know, a really hard parkour challenge, or we loved doing hints. Like we'd take book and quills and like write like a riddle, and you have to like follow the riddle to like find some piece to the puzzle, or like find this key that you place in this like dispenser or something like that, and like it'll unlock the door for you. And like it was really, really cool. We had all these challenges.
Is that all in survival mode?
Yeah, this was all in survival. It was vanilla. We had plugins for like, you know, /home, /TPA and stuff like that, but it was really, really fun. And we were developing like a society. Like we set up, each king had like different laws, and generally the new king would add on to laws and like change previous ones. It wouldn't be like a full wipe of laws.
Yeah.
So with each successive king, we slowly had a more like complex and involved society. I was the second king, and I took it upon myself. I was like, okay, what is my legacy of my kingship going to be? I wanted two things. I wanted to standardize the economy because it was really, really messy, and I wanted to make a mail system so people could send each other mail. So the mail system was pretty easy. I just like I made some redstone contraption with like printed mail keys. So I was like the Postmaster General was my title, and I would basically give you like this book and quill book that was like a one-of-one thing that you can't copy. And you could only unlock this door with a chest in it if you had the key. And you could put anything into a chest above it that would drop into your chest. So it was like a mail system. You know, you like drop it in somebody's mailbox, and then they use their key to open it and collect whatever you put in. And then for the economy, we were thinking like we need something that's not farmable. Like if it was all based on gold, for example, you can like create like a gold farm to get infinite gold really fast, and it would just destroy the economy. So we wanted to tie it. I was thinking about this. Everybody else didn't care, but I was like, no, guys, we need something that's like stable and like is gonna last and isn't gonna like destroy itself, right? So we decided to use diamonds as the currency because it's technically
there's no diamond.
Yeah, there's no like diamond farm. You know, it's directly tied to your labor. You have to go and mine and find diamonds. So I enacted a law that was basically all trades that you do ever, you have to use diamonds. You're not allowed to barter items. You have to use diamonds as currency. And we also had like a little shopping district that we set up, and I instituted like a tax on it, like a purchase fee. I standardized like what it costs to purchase land in the shopping district, and said like the only way you can sell items is through the shopping district with diamonds. And it was really, really cool. Like we all loved it. We spent so much time on that server. We built so much cool things. It was really, really fun.
How many people was it?
It was like 5 very, very committed people who were on like every day. Like
and people coming in.
When we play Minecraft, it burns very, very hot, very, very bright, but very, very short. It's intense, but it's short. So we had 5 people who were on like every day, and like basically all times that we weren't at work or school, like we were playing Minecraft.
Yeah,
and
that
then
makes sense.
maybe like 5 other people that were kind of less involved, but like still participated. Like everybody was priced into the mail system and the economy and everything. It was really cool.
Those are pretty interesting innovations, like just the awareness that an economy needs like a non-mineable resource, like that, being able to like have that thought, like that's something that I still don't fully grasp, other than just like in the adult world. And now that we've like gone through crypto, people have like pointed out these like various things. Like, I feel like economics is more, people are more aware of it now that we realize like, oh yeah, you can't have something that's just replicatable that people can like have no value attached to or something. But yeah, those are cool inventions. Yeah, it was, as you were talking, I was thinking of the different projects I've done in Minecraft that are like much smaller and one-off things. But yeah, one time, like I realized you could enter those terminal commands to like modify, like in the vanilla version or whatever, modify like blocks. And so I made a command that like wherever I'm standing, it creates this giant like open elevator shaft like below me, like 6, like maybe like 12 blocks wide by 12. And then it goes all the way down to the base layer, and it deletes every block except for diamond. And so that was how I was like mining like diamond. And then also I made another one of those that was like, if I dig underground, I can run this command that in front of me, it makes like an ice rail and it places like a boat. But then there's the ice rail is like surrounded by glass. And so the tube like shoots underwater and stuff. And then when you get in the boat and you go, you're like flying through like Minecraft inside this tunnel that like will go underwater and stuff.
That's so sick.
Yeah, that was a fun like command, like a one-off command. But then the other thing I did was, like, you know how villagers can like have jobs if they go to like those merchant stations? So I made this was like a weirder contraption where it was like couples having babies and the babies could walk under a gate and fall in a river and the river would take all the people like to this corral and then they would like occasionally like go into their merchant stations and you could like kind of fire the ones you didn't like and curate this like lineup of people like in like selling whatever goods for whatever price.
Yeah, my friend does that.
Yeah.
My friend is really, really good at making villager farms, and that's his thing. Like every single time that we play Minecraft, he's like the villager farm guy who gets like the best deal on enchanted books and like, you know, whatever stuff you want to get from villagers.
Yeah, it's weird that it bothers me a bit that like that's what I run up against, the automation. Like Astroneer is like this too, where there's automation to a certain extent, but then you kind of have to fudge it a little bit where you're like almost messing with the physics system.
Like you mentioned with the baby villagers in the gate, like you have to find a way to just make it work.
Yeah, it's very, and that's not as like, it's not as like mathematically satisfying. Things don't like, it's almost like Minecraft breaks its own rules. Like I want everything to be a block that's a block or whatever and not have like a half block size matter for something. And
have you played any modded Minecraft?
I don't think so.
You might really enjoy it.
Yeah, I've never, mods in general, I enjoy playing, like there's this thing where, like if I'm playing a game and I'm having some kind of experience or any experience in general, I always, like I want to be able to easily, like I want to feel like I can share that with other people. And the thing is, if I have any mod installed, for example, if I have any sort of experience, then my explanation at the start has to start with like convincing other people, like you should not only play this game, but like install this mod and play this game.
Yeah.
And that step is very, because then it's often like, and it's like, get this mod from here and put it in this folder. And it's this really messy explanation of like, you know, it's like, no matter how cool it is, what I would be excited about is some kind of platform that lets you easily install mods. Then I would tell people like, oh, go to this platform.
Oh,
and
they
like,
have that. Have you heard of CurseForge?
Yeah, that I guess I haven't, and it's weird. It's one of those things where something about it is, it doesn't, like it feels like, is this official or what? You know, it's like it's hard to attach like, because
like
it's sort
trust.
of like, it's like people are so, it's like you buy a game for money and you play the game and you beat the game, or there's like a known set of objectives, or because it's sort of like you have to be like you have to be so aware of what you find fun when you have as soon as you're like, I'm going to install mods, you have every mod available.
Yeah.
And many of them will break the game for you, because they'll make it too easy. And so then it's like, it's immediately like, okay, you have to like, it's sort of like, it's like, you should use cheat codes for this game, but only these cheat codes, because those combination will make it fun according to me. Like, and I'm going to convince you of that. But if you get greedy and install one more, that's going to make it not fun. And like you won't. It's like you're going to hate but then it's because there's no like rule. It's like it's not like you have to unlock the mods by doing something, and there's like an excitement to like, oh, now I'm going to unlock this mod and like or something like that. It's like you just have everything of it. Like it's sort of back to the era of like you're playing with like Legos or action figures and there's no rules and you're telling like a story and you're playing with your friends, but like there's sort of this agreement, like no one's gonna be like God mode or super powerful or whatever, like even though we can do anything. Yeah, I guess it's the same mindset. Maybe it's like a D&D style mindset of like everyone can do anything, but there's kind of these rules that we follow.
Yeah,
and
you gotta limit yourself
everyone
to have
kind of
fun.
knows. Yeah, but I think that's a tricky thing for like myself maybe and a lot of people, is like limiting ourselves to have fun. Like I feel like I'm pretty aware of that, but then everyone's a little bit different. Like what limits do different people need to have fun or something?
I can't lie, some of my friends are better at it than others. We actually did find one person in our server had cheated and he was duplicating diamonds. And we were only able to tell because we were like running the server off of our friend's home server, and So all of us had access to the console and we could see the audit logs, and we saw him like going to a specific home and then like leaving the server and joining back instantly. And it was just very suspicious. And he had a lot of diamonds. So we were we were like sniffing, trying to find out like, is he cheating? And so we found his little diamond stash. It was like his home name was the One Piece. He'd go like /home the One Piece. So we texted him, we were like, Rob, we found the One Piece. And he was like, what do you mean?
That's such a funny discovery, because they're searching for One Piece in One Piece.
Yeah.
But it's like you guys found the real One Piece.
Yeah, we found the One Piece, yeah. So basically we decided like, okay, how are we gonna deal with this? And we were like, let's deal with it like in server, like in game. So I built like next to the mail office, I built like a secret entrance that gets you to a sanctum, and it was like there was lava pouring down and stuff like that. It was like this big table, and then there was like a hanging throne from the ceiling, and basically we set up like a court case where we were like accusing him and like showing the evidence and stuff like that, and he like hired a lawyer in the server. I was the prosecutor. And I did such a good job. Like, it was crazy. Oh no, actually I was his lawyer. I was defending him. Even though like he definitely did it and we all knew it, but we were just like, let's make it fun. So I defended him, and I actually successfully defended his case, and he was found not guilty. It was crazy, even though he was very clearly cheating.
Dropped into the lava.
Yeah. And our king the current king at the time was overseeing the case. He was like the judge. And it was so fun. We had like witnesses come in and like, oh, dude, it was so cool. It was a really, really fun time.
There's a lot more structure to that than I would expect for even just like an understanding of how a court trial would work, and what positions are like at play is like something that I wouldn't expect people to like adopt without question. Like, I would think that it would just everyone. Maybe that's a thing that's happening is like I feel like my generation and stuff is like we grew up with like Halo, where if you see another person, like you have no choice but to hold a gun, and if you see another person, you have to shoot them immediately.
Yeah.
But now, it's like games. I guess Arc Raiders is a game that is making many people aware.
Yes.
That like
you don't have to shoot.
Yeah, and there's like subtle incentives where everyone is like, oh yeah, it is better not to shoot. But I can definitely sense that with like, whenever I've played Minecraft, like friends just like betray each other out of nowhere. Like they have this instinct to like, if they can do something, they want to do something, and like they're not like working within the D&D rules or something, because they're without like explicitly stating and then even then it's a hard thing for people to grasp, like why suppress your urge to do something in a fictional world where things don't technically matter, but making this weird argument that it'll be more fun if everyone like adopts like a certain set of values or something. But maybe I don't know if do you think like, I guess as I guess the younger generations are more like 100% games. Like they're meeting friends online, they're interacting, like especially during COVID and stuff, like it's 100% online. So all the normal social values of like a circle of friends are just being translated into like games and game spaces, and the whole range of human behaviors is happening in there. It's not just like a place you go to like shoot your friends and blow off steam.
Yeah, you find community.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to betray someone online, because that is real life if you've never met them online or like offline. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was gonna bring up. Is like this actually that's how we met. Is we were playing GTA 5 roleplay in COVID in 2020. And we were online like every single day playing with each other for hours. And, we had these characters with these backstories, and we kind of just all found each other. And then like we formed, it was like have you do you know anything about GTA 5 roleplay at all?
Yeah, just in passing.
There's like cops and there's gangs and there's, you can have a job or whatever and like all this stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
So we kind of just found each other, like just from random things. Like I joined a church at one point, and like one of the pastors was like this cool guy. And I became friends with this cop, and then like this EMT, and like just all this stuff. And eventually we formed a gang called Banks Bros. And all of our last names were Banks, and there was something ending with E in our first name. So I was Sammy Banks. We had Chizzy Banks, Richie Banks, and
the first rule of a gang is that every member must be identified by something.
Yeah,
So the whole
exactly.
gang
And we all had like funny ass voices, like people would talk like this, and like they'd be like, "My name is Chizzy," and like, you know, it was really fun. And we had like a very sprawling story. It was kind of similar to what we were talking about before about like playing within bounds on purpose. Because like in GTA 5 RP, like you can't just go ahead and shoot people. Like you can just murk anybody you want, right?
But then theoretically, yeah, I think there is like a in-game like court system, but also I guess you're getting banned from the server. Like
exactly.
Yeah, so there is like a punishment. That is a very I'm starting to fill in like a picture for myself, like it's what's interesting is that like a circle of friends like this can never be physically separated. Like you can always just deepen the lore of the friendship, and people can come in and out like regardless of geographical location, which has always like disbanded any friend groups like I've been part of before, except for now I have like an online friend group. And then also people acting in like a job role gives them like a experience of being like an authority or like an adult in a way that like even I have never necessarily gotten. Like if you're just pretending to be like a cop and going through the motions like that, then you like adapt some like intuitive knowledge about the importance of maintaining that structure and like
about that role.
Yeah, that like other people just cannot get without doing that in reality, which is like everyone just has like one job usually, and they don't get like they don't have practice like seeing things, like almost have empathy from seeing it from like the criminal's eyes, the law enforcement eyes, like different roles. That's crazy, yeah. Yeah,
it was we had a lot of different roles too. Like we had different characters. We would call them our cousins. We'd be like, oh, I'm gonna hop on my cousin, or like my cousin's coming to town is what we would say. And so we had like, we had one gang character, and then we had, or crim character we'd call it for criminal, and then we'd have like a cop character. And it was just really, really fun. There was like all these different like events. We actually held court cases in the server as well. We made a bid for mayor once because we were like the biggest gang on the server. Like everybody wanted to be a Banks bro. And there were consistently like 64 people just online like all the time. Because it was COVID, there's like there's nothing to do. And yeah, so that's how we met and became close. And I think that was like the foundation of this other stuff that I was talking about, like making this Minecraft RP basically. We're like, okay, you can break into somebody's mailbox, but like nobody's gonna do it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, once people learn like how that, like if everyone thinks that way and they're having fun, they intuitively can just like be told like they can just kind of go along with the bit or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that was something that like I never had done drama or theater or anything. And then I was just randomly, there's these people like Jake and Amir, they used to be in this site called like College Humor, which is now called like Dropout or whatever.
Yeah.
And they had their Jake and Amir like videos that were kind of dumb. But, and then I started listening to their podcast for a while. But that was my introduction to like Jake and Amir are always just going into a bit. And they don't say they are, but they're just like, they'll start joking, they start adopting characters, and then the bit like ends after some amount of time. And then that was just how I learned like, oh, there's this like if you're have a background in theater and you know someone else that does, and you start joking around, there's like this unspoken way of going into character and just kind of having fun with that until the scene like plays out.
Like you just pick it up as they're putting it down.
Yeah, and like the whole like, I guess the yes anding and the going back and forth, and but then there's definitely like me for a long time, and then some of my friends like they're not in that space at all. They don't have that muscle of like yes anding or the value or the fun that it could bring. Yeah, like, and they would have to be like talked through it, but even then they have these questions of like, but that it's like surely that won't work because someone will break the rules, but it like you almost have to like show it to them and be like, look, like everyone's having fun, and it's all because of this like unspoken like acceptance, and it works. Like you can't logically calculate that it's going to work. You just have to like see it working because it relies on everyone socially adopting the same behaviors, and then this emergent like fun that happens out of that or something.
Yeah, we're big fans of that. That's like my friend group's bread and butter. We even do that like in our Discord server. We have like a couple channels that I've made. Like the server is called Doggy Dogs, and we have like a canine constitution or a dog. We have a canine constitution, and like people could write rules. Anybody could write a rule, right? And like it's nobody's like explicitly said this, but everybody understands that these rules aren't real. You know what I mean? But we
Right.
will write rules like,
We can head to my apartment, by the way.
sure. Can we actually do one more loop? There's this
Yeah.
there's this office that I've been staring at on every turn. That's really, really cool, and I've been wanting to talk about, but
Right.
we've always just been gabbing. But we just, I don't know, we just make like little stupid rules. And there's like a
And why is
form-
it dog themed just randomly?
just for fun? Yeah,
like the
just
whole
like
the whole. So this is like your friend group server,
Mm-hmm.
but the theming of the like it's a place where you just centrally coordinate, and it just has like a dog theme.
yeah, basically. So we have the Canine Constitution, we have like puppy proclamations, we have the doggy declaration, and we just post stupid laws in there. And like one of our, like the process is you always start your message in that channel with like order number or like law number or rule number. So like
yeah.
Canine Constitution was rules, doggy declaration is laws, puppy proclamations are orders, and it'll be like a capital order, space, the number, which is always increasing, colon, and then you can put whatever your rule is, whether it's an image or like whatever. And it's just like a funny bit. We've just been doing it for years. Once we hit 1,000, we roll over to the next one. So Canine Constitution reached 1,000 rules in like 2.5 years or something like that. And then we archived it and said, okay, that's it. And people would earn the right to like make the 1,000th rule or make the 500th rule. And so yeah, we had Canine Constitution, and then we had 1,000 laws in the Doggy Declaration, and now we're on, I think like order 100 something in the proclamation. I can see.
The puppy proclamation.
Yeah. It's been hard to come up with names. Let's see, puppy proclamations.
That's it. Well, dogs are used. There's like so many different kinds of dogs. So then
Yeah.
whenever you have like a legalese term like proclamation, you got to rhyme with. There's probably some kind of dog.
Oh yeah. So I recently made order 198, and I finished this manga called Land of the Lustrous, and I just posted some like cool fan art that I found, and that was the order. Some super
And
fan
what-
art. Oh
So
yeah.
this is like a. So this like this order in the proclamation that one would follow to be a member of the society is just the vibes that they get when
Yeah,
looking at these.
Basically, yeah. There's no like spoken rule about like, oh, you have to follow this or anything. Like it's kind of just, it's just like random little memes that we can look back on.
Yeah. And
Like-
if you haven't, like, you at some point, like, you may want to verify someone has like read the orders, and it's like, if they don't know about this cool fan art, then clearly it's like, have you even read
Yeah.
the rules of our society?
That would be crazy. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about in that friend group. A lot of them I've only met in person like once or twice ever.
Huh.
And very recently I actually married 2 of them for I officiated their wedding in Georgia.
Wow. Do you have to? Oh yeah. So have you like become like you had to do a course for that or something?
No, it was free. I did it in high school. It took like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, I've heard people you can become an officiant like very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just kind of been waiting on it because it's something I've wanted to do. And yeah, I finally got the chance. So the first time that I met one of these friends I was marrying them.
I guess that's true of every officiant. Like no one ever meets their officiant.
Yeah.
Ever,
I mean, unless you're friends with them, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool.
That is a funny scenario though, where it's like it is a notable fact that like the first time you met was like as an officiant, and so the implication there is like this person didn't even know they could trust you because you've never met them before.
Yeah.
It's like
Even though we've been playing games for years.
But then if you think about it, like no one ever has met their officiant. Like it's kind of, I guess it's more common now for like friends to officiate, but it's almost like this idea of like you had an officiant that you didn't meet before. How could you trust them? It's like no one has. Like no one's met their officiant.
Yeah. It was a really cool crossover.
But I can see how all of this now, like this rolls right into organizing in the workplace, essentially, is what I'm thinking. Like, it's sort of like through you now, like you're explaining these communities that you've been a part of, I think, which now, like, recently exists. Like, this was not a thing before, like, online spaces and Discord and
Right.
COVID and, like, Roblox and GTA Online. But now, like, there's an entire generation, like, these generations go online, they meet people that they have not met in person, and they create societies with those people that have like rules that they made themselves. And so every young kid is like, just has this instinct of like, yes, we can run a society and it's going to be fun and awesome. And then they get into the actual society that's completely broken and fails and like has all these dumb rules that harm people only and no fun. And then they're like, well, we can obviously do this better. And then everyone else like that's young and energetic around them is like, yes, we obviously can. And then, but then there's like this resistance where it's like, why is some guy telling us like it's his rules only and they all suck, and it's not like, it's just punishing people, and like people are getting disappeared when that's like people are being banned from the server, quote unquote, like from the workplace, like for no reason. And it's just like, I can see this instinctive like movement of like, we can just do it ourselves and do it better, which now like, but then yeah, like my generation and stuff is like, well, that would never work. It has to rely on everyone having the same mindset. But then, as we've seen here, like there's an intuitive way. Like if you get on one of these role play servers, it's like everyone does, and it does work, and it's fun. And so then yeah, you can see how I can totally see how this movement like coming together, kind of. Yeah, I've seen this apartment a lot. A couple times I saw a cat on that.
Oh, this one, yeah, this is the one that I was looking at. It's so cool.
Yeah, one time I saw a cat. Maybe there's a cat. Actually, there's a cat on there right now. I see the ears.
Oh yeah, I see their like
highest.
their tail or their leg is kind of like hanging off.
I think it's one of those cats with like the leopard
Yeah.
spots. That's like the expensive kind of cat.
You know, I never actually connected this like online society making stuff to like organizing. I never really made that connection.
Yeah. Because, well, this is that's similar to like the music video in a desert. Like when I first met you, I just immediately was like, well, this guy's obviously like a really good organizer, and instinctively somehow, and I don't know why that is. But from what you've been explaining, it's filled in a lot. It's like filled in the background story of like, well, that makes perfect sense. Like everything you've been saying about like spontaneously making rules with other people that make the thing fun. And this is just the way you've like grown up. It's like, well, what happens when you put that person in a workplace, like which is another dysfunctional society that like, you know, it's just this sort of like, it makes like a natural sense. And I'm obviously like probably simplifying more, like there's more to the story or whatever, but it's like connecting some dots in my head in terms of like, yeah, like being in that room for me is like, in the OC room is like total chaos. It feels, it's like, how could this work? Everyone's a different opinion. And because I've never experienced that before, I've not, you know, like when I go into a game, people just shoot me immediately and like everyone's against me. And so then, yeah, so it's like a different experience, but I could see how like if you've just had fun, like in an online space, the most fun ever, then you're like, well, why couldn't we just do that here?
Yeah.
But you know, for real or whatever or not.
Yeah, I'm definitely stealing that idea. That's actually such a good like observation. I feel like I do kind of have a natural like knack for organizing, but I don't think I'm very good at it. I think I'm learning, but like I've never thought of it in that way about like you know, making some arbitrary rules that are actually fun. Like everybody's priced into the fun rather than people are doing what they want to do at the expense of others. You know what I mean? That puts a different spin on it.
But I feel like for you personally, you don't have to think about it. Like the natural thing that you're doing is, in my opinion, like effective, but not because you've thought through it. Like it's just naturally what's happening. And so then it's just like a realization for me, I guess. And I don't know if you could, like what's interesting now is the whole layer of this like podcast thing. Like I'll post this at some point, but it's sort of like we've had this conversation, and if people listen to it and have that same, like if it talks them through the same realization, but they'll be missing pieces, I guess. Like they don't know, people that listen to this may be random, they don't know either of us, so then it doesn't really mean anything to them. So that's just, it's funny how that is. It's like a realization for me, but like there's no like real,
it's not like
step for you, and we can't really use like this realization that I've had that came together in my head. It's like based on my whole life experience, so like it won't just work on someone else. But then
I can influence them for sure though. Like like I was saying, you had this realization that I never had, right? But it's about me, so now I'm connecting dots that I didn't connect. You know. Also, I've been watching this cat. They just like popped up and like were cleaning themselves. It was so cute.
It's so funny how they like cats like high places and they like looking at like birds or something, but like that height makes no sense. Like for an animal, it's like why why would an animal have this like glass throne in the sky where it just looks down on people as like little tiny ants? Like how could that instinctively be something they're after?
I would kill for an apartment like this.
I believe that these apartments are more than just that one room. Like obviously there's no kitchen in there, so I think there's like, you know, a kitchen, like some at nighttime. You know, nighttime is a good time to like spy in there.
Yeah.
But
all right, ready to go to your apartment?
Yeah.
I'm excited to meet your cat.
Yeah, it's actually funny how like this apartment is like awesome view of the park, cat up there, like glass, floor to ceiling glass. And then my apartment's like 4-story brick building. Still there's a cat in the cat tower. It's like exactly that apartment, but everything is like scaled down to affordability like levels. Also, we're moving actually, so we have boxes like around the place.
That's all right. It's probably fun for your cat.
Yeah.
Are you guys driving or flying?
We're gonna fly, but yeah, on like tomorrow we'll move my cat to a nearby like relative's house.
Okay.
And then we'll sort of like finish up our move, and I have to go back to Canada to re-enter on like a new TN visa. Then I pick up apartment keys in Washington. Then we're actually gonna vacation in like San Diego.
Oh.
This whole time my cat will be at like our relative's house, which is a house it never been to. And then we come back on like December 13th is when we'll like fly the cat to the new apartment. So that's a lot. So even starting now, like, yeah, like the apartment's getting boxed up. The cat's like, you know, is not normal cat environment is being like in flux.
Yeah.
Then we move it to a new house. Then we fly on a plane. Then we.
Has it ever flown before?
House. No, it never has. Yeah. It's like 3-year-old cat.
Oh, what's her name?
Nevi.
Nevi?
Yeah, it's a male cat. Nevi. Yeah, it's full. Well, when we adopted it, its name was Navarro, and so we shortened it to Nevi.
Both of those are sick names.
Yeah, when we came up with Nevi, it's because it ends on like a high pitch E sound, and I think cats like that when you make a high pitched noise. So if you say the name Nevi, just because you're making a high pitched noise, it's more enjoyable for the cat maybe or something.
I have a really cool idea for a cat name when I eventually get one. I met this cat in college who was, do you know Hans Zimmer?
Yeah, the soundtrack to The Dark Knight.
Yeah. His daughter went to Brown and was in my year. Oh, yeah. And she had a cat, and her cat's name was Moog Modular, like the synthesizer. Moog Modular TikTok Saddam Hussein Zimmer was the full cat's name, and they'd call it Moog. And so I was like, I really like that idea of like a long, obtuse name.
Moogie.
Moogie, yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to name my cat eventually. Well, I'll tell you their nickname, and you try to guess what the full name is, okay? For sure, I'll call them Taxi.
Something like taxidermy.
Close, that's everybody's first guess. This one is a crime.
Tax evasion?
Yes, tax evasion. And I'll call them Taxi for short. But their full name will be like the Honorable Queen or King Tax Charles Evasion, House of Rosa.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And that could be like embroidered somewhere on a cat blanket or something.
Yeah, I would love that. I can't wait to get a cat. I lived with a cat for the past year for my roommate, and he was wonderful. His name was Mikael.
Huh.
He's my little sweet baby boy. Have you always had cats?
I had a cat like during my childhood up until maybe like grade 7-ish. Then we had no pets. Then yeah, about 3 years ago, we moved to the city. A couple months later, we adopted this cat.
Does your partner like cats? Like always had a cat?
No, she had like several pets. Like she grew up in China, came here at the start of high school. She had several pets in China, but she explains it as like she had like a gerbil, she had like a chicken, she had pigeons like on the balcony of their apartment. It's like she had various different like pets that strike me as like very Asian style pets where like you just go to a market and some guy's like selling a chicken or something and
you're like, sure,
have that as a pet.
Is this her first time having a cat?
I think so, yeah.
Huh, very swag.
Yeah, here's the elevator. Yeah, I guess we used to do more like 2-3 day little like mini vacations or something. But now that we have a cat, it's a bit harder to like, leave the cat for like a night.
Right.
And so then we feel much more kind of pinned down, or at least I feel like that. it's harder to just like spontaneously like go across town and
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what was nice about Mikael is his owner, Sophia, my roommate, felt the exact same way and was like, she had a girlfriend who went to Stanford and lived there, and she obviously wants to like spend time with her girlfriend. So it was tough to leave Mikael behind. So that's where I came in. I was like his uncle, his like second person basically at home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would need to establish. I guess there's actually like pet sitters that for free will like come stay in your house.
I would so do that.
Yeah, apparently like
cats.
you pay like the sitters pay like $100 fee per year or something to be on this website, and then you just can contact them and they'll stay in your house because it's like a vacation for them.
Right. And like a free pet to hang out with.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty good deal. Like when I went to Yosemite and did this random like adventure race, one of the other racers was like from New Zealand, but they were in like the San Jose area pet sitting for free for someone.
Oh,
and
that's so
but
sick.
that it just meant that they could fly from New Zealand and like stay there. And then whoever they were pet sitting for let them use their car, so they like drove to Yosemite,
Wow.
did this thing, and then they said like right after that they have another pet sitting gig like lined up just somewhere else, like another nearby, or like Sausalito or something like that.
I might actually like get into this. Like I feel like
It could be good for retirement, like
Yeah, that's what I was
just
gonna say.
vacationing. Yeah,
you just get like
schedule.
an excuse to travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess not an excuse, like a reason to travel.
But actually, through work, like you can see the Muglers. There's a Muglers emailing list, and people are always like looking for another Googler to like look after a pet.
Oh my God.
And yeah, they'll say like 2-bedroom apartment in New York City for like 2 weeks. We're going away, and we need someone to sit there.
I would so
and-
do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities on that. At some point we were almost going to hire somebody or not hire them, just they would do it for free, I guess. But I think we ended up like not going away or something.
I've been thinking a lot about like, I've been working at Google for like a year and some months now, and like my understanding of having a career and retirement and all that stuff has like changed a lot over that time. And I'm thinking a lot more, I guess, proactively about what I want my life to look like once I'm ready to like not work as much, like my early retirement and then like my real retirement. Definitely want to travel. I would so do like a cat sitting or even dog sitting. I don't like dogs as much, but like if it gets me to a cool spot, heck yeah.
Yeah, my goal at the moment is get like a green card and then American citizenship, because my wife is like Chinese citizen, I'm Canadian. So at the moment, like it turns out like there's like you got to get a visa to go anywhere if you're a Chinese citizen. So that blocks like making travel easy a lot.
Really? Like even just to visit?
Yeah, like all the countries that like North Americans, like Canadians, Americans that we can go to like without really thinking, there's like a more lengthy process for Chinese citizens.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and then, so once, that's the goal, is like, as I move into this new company, they're going to do like the perm process for me, and I'll try to get a green card in a couple of years. And then that, having sort of like citizenship would make us feel safer, like maybe looking at like, can we get a cheap house in the Washington state area? And then that would be like as these things come together, it's more like, okay, now we can predict like the cost of, rent or mortgage, or hopefully once we pay that off, like if it's not that expensive, if we find a good house that's not too expensive, then like that all comes together where we have like a way to live and
something stable.
Yeah, you can scale
secure.
back like work to meet just cost of living, and then hopefully free up like some time to vacation. And actually we had this idea that maybe at some point we'll go live like north of Toronto, like back in Canada, and we were like, could we make like a little media, like a multimedia studio where it's just like the two of us doing what we want. Like we could hire a ghostwriter, write a book, make a YouTube video, make like games tutorials, or just like give a small amount of money to whoever we meet for them to do their project and like publish it under our studio or whatever.
Yeah.
And that would be like a fun, just like start bringing together people that are making stuff just for the sake of it, like trying to inspire, people to just do what they're wanting to do.
Does your wife do this creative stuff like you do as well?
Not as much, no.
Hey, I love your jacket. It's fire.
Oh yeah, we got it.
This is a really cool building.
Yeah, you'll see a photo upstairs when we get out of the elevator. where like just after the earthquake or the fire of San Francisco or whatever, like it's a shot of this building in like 18 whatever, 1812 or 20 or something, because it was, they call it like on Wikipedia, it's like this was an ice house where they stored ice, I suppose, and then it was converted into condos like some number of years ago.
I think you had mentioned this before.
Yeah, like this is where we just were in that alley, as far as I know. Like that's the elevator. We walked in through that door.
Wow.
Yeah, because like that's what I assume that angle is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the same like cobblestone. Oh yeah,
Still
1916. Yeah. Yeah, we got lucky with this unit with the rent and stuff. We can end our podcast, at least for now.
Sure. Peace out.